What's going on, guys? It's Dog the Gamer or Cody, bringing you guys the recap / reaction to the Bengals and Browns Thursday night game. A little bit late because this is actually the second time I've tried doing this video. I actually made this video right after the loss, and if you guys don't know, I've made sort of references, but I haven't really been clear about it. I deal with a lot of anxiety issues, so I'm prone to panic attacks and just general higher levels of anxiety. So being a Bengals fan isn't exactly fun all the time, especially in these close games. And I ended up getting myself so worked up making the first video. I think I still technically made it, but it was like 6 minutes, and I basically ended it short because I was having really bad anxiety to the point where I was about to have a panic attack. Thankfully, it didn't result in that. I calmed myself down. But I'm going to try to give a more nuanced and calmer version of this video today as I'm recording. This is the day after. It's Friday morning. Hopefully this video is out on Friday, at the latest Saturday. But I'm going to give my opinions, recap, breakdown of the game, how I felt the Bengals played, and give my winners and losers. There's going to be 2 winners and 4 losers for this game. In my opinion, at most, there's going to be a six total winners and losers. Depending how the team plays, it could be 6 losers, 6 winners. Highly doubt it'll ever be 6 winners at this point. But I'm just going to give my general opinion, who's a winner, who's a loser, and who was, key. Score was 35-30. Prediction pretty off. I was right, though. It was a close game, and it was a high-scoring game. But again, I was wrong. Man, it is really tough being a Bengals fan, and I'm basically gonna give a little overview how I felt the offense defense played. Defense gonna be really quick. Horrible, no run D whatsoever. The front 7 played awful. William Jackson gave up a horrible touchdown to Odell, but made up for it in the it was fourth quarter, I believe. Fourth quarter with an interception on Baker. Don't know how much of that was him and how much it was Baker just being Baker. The dude's gonna, throw interceptions. I'd just say he throws. He's literally just another Jameis at this point to me. Got talent, but he's reckless with the ball, in my opinion. But anyway, I felt like the defense played horrible. Couldn't stop the run. Gave up over 200 yards to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. As unacceptable. Play action killed us because of that. Not much you can do. Definitely missed Geno Atkins and Mike Daniels in the middle. But when you give up as much yards as we did, that's indicative of a bigger issue. Urumo, I can't even say his name, and Zach Taylor got to figure this out. It's just really unacceptable. But anyway, moving on to how I felt the offense played. I feel the offense as a whole, while we couldn't take any shots down the field, I think they played fairly well. Joe Burrow looked fantastic. Throwing the ball way too often. Threw 62 times, I believe, or 61. And completed 37 passes, I believe, for 300-something yards and 3 touchdowns. What's more to say? He looked great. I think he looked fantastic for a second game. But there's not really much you can do when your defense doesn't give you any help. Offensive line looked terrible again. Actually, I think looked worse than last week, which is surprising. Gave up, I believe, 3 sacks again, and even more hits and more pressures. Combination of the front 4 and blitzes, leading to these pressures and hits. Offensive line, terrible again, not just Bobby Hart, all around. Left side was okay at best, with Jonah and Mike Jordan and Trey Hopkins, but the right side, and I'd say the interior played pretty poorly, both as pass protectors and run blockers, because the run game was non-existent for the second week in a row. Mixon ran for under 50 yards. He contributed a little bit in the passing game, but seemingly got taken out in the later half of the game when we had to pass. So, what can you do? But Bobby Hart looked horrible. Fred Johnson looked horrible filling in at right guard for Xavier Su'a-Filo. It's unacceptable. But ultimately, it's just coaching's got to get better. Zach Taylor's play calling was pedestrian at best. Great on fourth down. I was actually pretty impressed with how well the Bengals were on fourth down. But I just feel like the play calling at times just felt weird. But really, when you can't use your entire playbook because you're down and your defense ain't playing well, what can you expect? But seeing a lot of the same problems with Marvin Lewis teams I'm seeing with this Zach Taylor regime in certain areas. Just inconsistent, old team not playing at the same time, whether it's offense or defense, letting us down. But one thing's consistent, we're seeing that our rookie has the talent to lead us, but at the same time, I'm getting more and more terrified we're going to have an Andrew Luck situation because he's accumulated way too many hits in these first two games. I'm getting really scared for him. But anyway, I'm going to move on to winners and losers and end this video. It's not going to be a very long one. It's just, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm not very in-depth when I make these videos, and again, I'm dealing with a bit of anxiety issues right now, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably cutting it shorter, than I really want, but there's really not much to say. The offense, like the front seven on defense and the offensive line really let us down this game. But, anyway, two winners. Joe Burrow played perfect, or not perfect, but great. And Tyler Boyd, he looked pretty good. In terms of wide receivers that really played well, he's the only one that really looked good. Mike Thomas also pulled in a touchdown, but otherwise our wide receivers didn't really look that great this game. Drew Sample looked good, him and Uzama, but Uzama went down with a injury, an Achilles injury, probably going to be out for the year, the way it's looking. Haven't got any actual word on that, but usually when it's your Achilles, you're usually gone. But move on to losers. Offensive line and defensive front seven. The offensive line as a whole was horrible. And the front seven, linebackers and defensive line for the defense were horrible. When you give up over 200 yards of rushing, you're going to end up on the losers list. Loser number 3, AJ Green. He does not look right. He feels like he's non-existent. It doesn't seem like he has as much speed. He's lost a step. And he had quite a few drops. Even like one or two, I'd say errant. I wouldn't say errant throws, but not the best throws in the world. But if they hit your hands, you better come down with them. Especially if you're supposed to be AJ Green. And then last loser is the coaching staff. I wanted to just say Zach Taylor or just Lou Aruma, but I would say this is a combination of both. Because the coaching staff really put us in this position with a bad defense coordinator with bad play calls and game plans, and a head coach that just seemed to not think, hey, you should probably get an offensive line to protect, your quarterback. So let's include Turner in there. The coaching staff really let us down today, and it's horrible. I don't want an Andrew Luck situation in Cincinnati. Please, Burrow, stay healthy. I hope we can get you some protection, and this defensive line's got to start doing something because it's supposed to be our strength of our defense. And honestly, it looks really horrible. Dunlop, non-existent. Hubbard, non-existent. AJ Green, non-existent in the wide receiver room. A lot of key veterans are just non-existent on this team, and it's got me concerned. I know this is a rebuilding team, but I expect more out of my team. I'm not going to have this loser's mentality. I agree with Burrow. Losing is unacceptable. But I'm not going to make excuses. I'm just going to hope for the team to get better, and hopefully we start winning some games, and on to week 3 where we play Philadelphia. But anyway, how do you guys think the game went? What's your guys' opinions? Leave a comment down below. We'll have some discussions. If you like the video, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more Bengals content. And in general NFL content eventually. Just got to get into that flow. I want to be more set with the Bengals content before I start adding other NFL content. So who knows if that'll be this year, but I do have plans to add other NFL content where I talk about other games. But for right now, we're just talking about, the home team, Bengals, and hoping for the better. And again, just hoping for Burrow that we don't have our own Andrew Luck situation, because that would just be heartbreaking. It really would. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Cody, or Dog Gamer, and oh no, heartburn and hiccup. No, everything's going wrong. But anyway, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hoo day and God bless.